Thanks for the snacks.
Okay.
A nice change, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Lane.
Vern's online, so if you want to include him, you know, ask him a question.
No. Oh, but yeah, you may.
The first thing that we're going to do is approve July 8th agenda. And so I guess we're going to have to ask somebody to approve it, right? And approve the June 4th minutes. The crisis management team update by myself and Robin. The next government session date. Anything other? If anybody wants to include anything, and then we'll have the closing prayer. So is there any other business to discuss? Nothing? Well, that sounds good. Yeah. You want to move it? Move it?
July 8th.
Yeah. Okay, it's moved by March to accept the agenda for July 8th, and you second it? That's third. Amanda. Okay, who's going to move that we approve July 4th minutes? July 4th, yeah.
June 4th.
Or June. Finish with this. Yeah, March. Yeah, then it's too late.
June 4th or June?
June 4th. Minutes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes?
I'll move.
Okay, that's Linda. She moves. Any seconder? Larry Marston. Gitxsan. Yeah. Okay, number 3.
I was absent from the June 4th meeting. I was wondering if I could get a copy of the,
I think the minutes are included in
the process update meeting package. The one that Gordon presented. There's tab 2, tab 3, tab 4. I think those are the package that he distributed that day.
yeah, she's gonna supply you with the copies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll make a copy too.
And Ray.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna do a report on the crisis management team update. Robin will kick in if I make a mistake. Elias and Willem will sagwe with Gitxsan will with hun. The term that am sawa you bagat lag to some hun kan Willem tipsat asun du msne Wills lach it lach yip tun sa nakut wagat oim nu sa daw at ni skit lach yip tun ayogum ni skit lach yip tun ni ayogum lach yip kan kwaganit ayog de pa slow de taag net gesierd as lach yip kum niet wat die Willem met hun. De bagatelaag was am zwaar. De bagatelaag dit hun komt. Niet jaret hes kan gekit komt. Daar komt hem niet zo om dat hun schoten scant doet. Hier ook. Ik laat je een kosten nee, de taak de spadok hun with the sarm. Schaskit with am sewa. Schaskit with a yoke dit. De Willem tun. Die hem loaded het lachsat tun. Lip a jorm dem hoim. Het lach jip tun. Ine die niet. Nesem de men gedams sangs. Het zal am sewasem. De me het aardigst dit de me niet zo dit lach jip. Zwart dit permits gaan license. Niet geschikt om trust. De mola ams. De mola wis Gitxsan van Willem sem gegat. Nesem wil lose skist dag gat. Den geschikt was hem. Ab jarat nesem wil lose skit. En gaan wis luwanse mijn zoon. Niet het dit. Dem behouden dit. Zo wat dit is treaty. Least houden dit. In daar zag het wand zwaar. Maar er is geen wat wil dit doen. Go bij je woord gekuld. BC government. Geen taam woord dit net die aardigst dit. Hij ook het had dit. Us jalda. Maar dit net dit acht dit en bouwt dit. Al wat is gaat aan het laatst skit loaded. Swamped, sweated. He net in backed it. You have to matter my Willem that that was. Provincial government named it artists. With the am dit with Willem het lag hip kom sem gegat. Am geul as a dam am geul. Lag ax. Niet de deem tust. Het la wend me bach saxum rood lag jip. Niet me de prijs geschikt. La wis la am sawa. Nu om te jorot. De niet kan lag jip te pun. Niet tust hem lu jukset. Neem maar dit dag am sawa. De genam dit permit. De me had hem jukt om zo hoeden dit lugoget. De me jukt hem had hem gejet slam se wa. Daar niet gezegd als lag an Selinaskum. Niet toest pagam sim geget. Na with an St. Art and Willem. Nee, die de tax die niet zo omleg aan St. Adam. De midden op zijn door als kwestie sagam luid. Iets geschiet am sewa. De woordels hond kom. Lep nee, de sagat de met woordel hond. Ja, het wist am sewa. Some get greedy needed. Some get greedy needed. Net dit han ook dit. Allah, dit wil je gekwijt, some geget. Je net dit han ook dit, de koers hun. Noomt wil luid, te mee aan ze dalem luid. Niet die wist was een geget. Doch dit haag niet zo nooit dit lag jip. Als je doch dit, hun en nee, als je doch dit. Het gaat dit te blikken na hun tun. Gaat dit niet dit. Ze men get. Hoe dit wil dit. In daal net is giet wil luid dit. Ik dacht dit hun de pun. Ik ga je saks dit liggen daar. Ik niet wil goed trade dit. Trade dit tun. Hun tun is liblia gwis saks dit. Dit laag dit waar het nak wadid. Waar het was down the coast, Vancouver Island wadid. Dit genoeg wat dit Grease Trail dit. Wat dit trade route. In het geschikt was. Am zwaar Willem Tun. Nee, die loosjes liggen de gat lozen. Maar som de woord liggen hun data. En die ook niet die Willem wist Gitxsan. We are best goes thousands of years given. Nee wist Gitxsan dat je tun. Je hebt niet wil dit. Toch dit en nou ja dit eet uit. Ik toch trade dit is literatuurschat. Dan kan aan de wil dit. Ik lukt dit ze men get. Toch dit hun het os jet dit is kasaals dit. Kan taag niks wanneer wat dit lag je dit. Ik niet toen de hadden is het aan om ze geget. Daar was hun atsam te me gayo sa wen te me gayo la hip te men Willem.
You said it all.
Okay.
What did you say?
Exactly what we're doing.
Nee, es geht um die Gitter rausklicken, na ja.
You know, I can feel the impact that what we're doing on the Skinner River is impacting us First Nations here that live on the Skinner. I got blew my motor and my commercial boat, and the company that I fish for won't back me up for another motor. Yet before they used to be able to do it, but now something's wrong. I can sense something's wrong. It feels like they don't really want us there.
Oh, so they're taking it out on you because
Yeah.
of that.
But I'll find a way.
Oh, great.
Krachtreactie, yes, hè?
Ja, ach, ja. Het afgekend had hem gezegd met naast zit aan. You're not as in, right, Anita? You're not as in.
It wasn't.
Oh, it was in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're putting it back in a couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
caucus.
Well, in Ksawaya, I see there's still lots of boats.
Oh,
Boats and terrace.
oh yeah, and terrace.
Terrace.
Well, you know, we can't
Jurisdiction.
take our jurisdiction and go down there and tell them you can't be fishing here because that's not our, you know, because we did invite those people. I think everyone here was at that meeting in Terrace. We did invite them. They did sign. And traditional people, not only the band signed, but they did. But there is a small area down there that the fishery is closed between Hell's Gate and Zimmercourt. Yeah. Yeah. They closed that, and that's a really strong area for a yacht. And then they closed that all down, and that's where all the campers would be parked out there around there. And they closed it down for that. So that's going to help us out quite a bit, you know.
So Zimmercourt is closed,
Yeah.
and
But I
you
think
still
they-
see camping there.
Oh,
On the other
maybe they're
side,
camping
though.
there, but I don't know. They're fishing.
On the other side,
No, right beside the highway going all the way to Rupert, there's campsites.
Yeah. Well, Zimmercourt is closed.
this is the major spawning ground, that's why they closed this part for salmon.
Are they allowing the fish to go in the river and they closed the Zimmercourt River, or is the skin still open for them?
Certain areas, I guess, eh?
You mean down?
Terrace.
It's not closed down there for them. Yeah, but
Just a certain
they're
part.
respecting us up here. Yeah, because we don't get that much traffic down here. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I haven't seen very many boats
Yeah.
this month. The only boats I've been seeing is GWA. I caught up to them today and they told me they were GWA. So it was good to see them out. I never saw them all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really rare many years ago, but they're out there monitoring, so that's good.
So
No,
our jurisdiction is doing really good.
Yeah, they're respecting our closure, which
Yeah.
is really good. I thought we were in for a, confrontation.
Yeah, we weren't getting any confrontation from
No.
people. There's very few boats that are using that boat launch. Where
Yeah,
it's
that's really
very few. And if they're, sometimes fisheries boats are there. Yeah.
There was an Upsiwa in Columbia there that asked me to go fishing. I said, no, sorry, the river's closed. He was polite, so I was polite back. And he said, okay. And he left. Pretty good.
What they doing at Princess Lake there, just below it, about half mile or mile.
That's-
There's a road going towards the river there. I seen it yesterday when I came from Terrace. And there's a whole bunch of people there, a whole bunch of white people.
Next to Gitna, they host weddings and whatever you want to book. It's a little private property now there, which just popped up about 2008 maybe. So that, I was not happy about that. And they let off some fireworks apparently, according to my sister, so that's not good.
They want to know more.
They're also catering to a mining and exploration outfit over there. So they're somewhere, I'm not sure which side of the river they're doing their exploration on, but they've already got a whole bunch of core boxes set up at the Watson Lake Trails Head Road.
Wow.
So it's just something to be aware of. I'm not sure on which side of the river, but they had hosted a bunch of an exploration group there last month. So it's maybe something to be concerned about.
Princess
Lake?
Really?
Yes. they turned it into a lodge, so somebody bought it and turned it into a lodge, so now they're hosting anybody
The
that wants
couple
to rent it.
actually both work for Kitwanda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both the lady, she works as a adult basic ed instructor, and the guy is a dental therapist with the band. Yeah, so they both work for Kitwanda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, something to keep your eyes and ears open about the exploration up there and whose territories it is, where it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Hey, Mr. Chairman, are you chairing?
Uh,
Give me 1 minute.
yep.
I feel kind of bad that the boundaries movement there on the fishery, because I know I was young when all Aaron Sinclair and Jimmy Cream used to wind up and down the Skinner until the Indian Act come into being. And then that's when some send them come in. The Skinner River belongs to the Gitxsan people, the Algertin. When they stand up and make a statement, right down to Island Point. I mean, we lost quite a bit of grounds when those guys passed away because they never backed down. And I used to listen to it in strikes or whatever when they argue with fisheries and everything else openly. And they stand up and tell them. I mean, this kind of self-government that's coming into being now is kind of chicken shit to me. It's, you're listening, you're not pushing. So, what's yours, eh? That's my opinion. You guys may not like it, but that's how I feel about it.
No,
Because it
that's
goes all the
true.
way down, then that was what they think. That's how they present themselves in public. Entonces, geregeld los potato nil get you get gesund But that's how they did it anyway. Because I've seen quite a bit labor disputes in fishing industry. And that's how it always turns out. I don't know, Satan has elected like one another of them. See where we end up on this. I just brought it up just to let you know
That's good,
what
though,
I think.
you know. Yeah. Ray?
Yeah, for the management and the crisis team, I think, I don't know, maybe you guys are already doing it. Gitxsan First Nations with their biology fishery department are releasing dye from Kalem River down on the Skeena to study how the currents go in case when one of these big oil tanker trains spill. And they're studying all this so that they'll know how the oil will flow. That's the oil. I don't know how much bitumen these tanks carry too, because bitumen will just sink.
Yeah, sink right to the ground.
So maybe the crisis team can get the data, the reports. I think they're going to be. How many? They're doing it all summer, or?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll share their data with us when they do get it, because some of the things that the questions to be asked with that is if the derailment happened at night, how are they going to know? You know, because by the time next morning it'll be all the way down Rupert. So, and then what happens if there's high water? It's just boiling, you know. They're not going to be able to follow any kind of it's just mixed with the water right away. So that's two scenarios that that wouldn't work with the dye thing they're talking about. To contain an oil spill on the river is going to be hard enough, but you know, with those two scenarios, you can't do it. That's impossible. But sure, we could ask for them to share it when they, you know.
At least they're doing the research.
Yeah, when they come out with answers.
Yeah, the Skinner Crossing Bridge goes down, we'll have an instant dam. Because that bridge is over 100 years old now.
Roger, did you get what Vernon was saying? Vernon?
He said that when Peter Williams and Harold Sinclair visited, they claimed to Island Point.
That's a long ways down, eh?
That's out past the mouth of the Skinner.
Okay. Okay, when I ask.
But I talked to Don Roberts about that, and he said, yeah, my dad told me that you guys were able to fish up right up to Island Point for your food fish.
Yeah. Does anybody have any comments about what Vernon said about the territory going all the way down?
Earlier this year, I got into the Gitxsan fisheries, and I talked to Jim, I think it was, about getting a permit. Not that very long ago, they used to issue Gitxsan food fish permits. And we talked about the Island Point. The Island Point boundary that had been in the Gitxsan and Tsimshian. It must have been a verbal agreement from many years ago. And he said nobody listens to that anymore, and they don't follow that. So basically, he was saying that the lower part of the river is Tsimshian now, and the Island Point, where the Gitxsan used to be able to fish without having their permission, no longer exists.
Because, you know, this is really important what Vernon brought up, because a lot of the territory goes all the way down. And not only down river, but it goes upriver. Our parents and our grandparents talked about our territory going all the way to Houston and all that, the Gitxsan territory. But now nobody even addresses that.
Well, we're divided nations, the Wet'suwet'en people and all that's up that way too, but within the Zimstad House, I think we have a territory this side of Burns Lake and up the this side of Houston. But we don't go there. It's our part of our house group that's over there within the Wet'suwet'en people.
Yeah.
But they're related to us.
Yeah, we're all related somehow.
Well, I read a couple of articles here, Chair.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
One is almost what we're talking about, Niska and Tsimshian and their dispute over Mississauga Gulf and Portland Channel. And the other articles about what's going on up in Tahltan country now. They're talking billions and we're talking pennies. So there's two articles I brought for people to have a look at. But the Niskas and the Tsimshians, they're having some pretty serious talks. And last week, before I left, one of the people was on the radio from Niska over that the Sugar Gulf there.
Yeah, okay, so we'll table this for another day, because I think for now we'll just concentrate on the fisheries, but it's a really good point, and it has to be addressed eventually, you know. Eventually it's got to be addressed. It's
Well, I
gonna
guess
be-
what I'm saying is that we gotta be aware of what's going on around us, all the
Yes.
other places, eh?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, that's why we invited those people, you know, all the nations to join this, this whole process that we're trying to do here.
I felt an article, their chair says they have 95,000 square kilometers up there. And there's no mention of the Casca Linné up in that area, especially in the northwest and Atlan. Just for information
Yeah,
and recommendation, read.
Så vi ger till manak, det är stigai. Jag tycker att barns, det är bort, as all we get. They put those orange messlings in the creeks so salmon can't spawn. So what are they doing? Interfering with nature, just like the gates at Babine Lake. In the old days, they never had gates. Now they got spawning channels. You go up there, they allow so much fish in, then GWWA closed the gates. Salmon come flying up there, hit the gates, knock out, drift back down, go to shore and die. If you guys have ever been up there. But you go walk up the creeks, and that's what you see is they've taken them out now, it's orange meshes. And that's what they put in the creeks. They do that in a lot of the creeks. They've taken them out now. Like when the Native Brotherhood, like I said before, was strong, Harold Sinclair and Peter Williams said, Gitxsan Boundary went to Island Point. Let's get away, fresh water, Gitxsan. Het kan wel zwart in Gitxsan. Je kan Egypt Gitxsan. Aliaks. Je lokaal, gewoon jas doen, laat het rood gaan. Als lanaat, we toch lanaat. Nee, die wil zo goed lang get, wil het gewoon dit jas. Als wel net lanaat, Gitxsan. Dat is geen wil toest. Nak, het ja, je hebt massie. Nak wel eens kerk doen. Het is zeker, je moet leeg weg. Zelfs, ga je limmers. Het is zeker dat je ook Gitxsan. Het is zeker dat je ook Gitxsan. Net naar de arme toest. Net schaar doen. De zeker ben je goed. Zelfs ga je limmers. Zal je gaan te huizen. Dat je goed zo laat is, laat je adaaf leer goed. Je hebt zich de zeker dat je ook Gitxsan. Net naar de arme toest. Ja.
Aaron? Oh, it's okay.
Gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
maybe I just get another little comment there. I'm not really too certain about it, but about the law of that prohibits you from using the old trails. But daar keren hoe het kan be daar geland some mile the zone and those. And the guy that lives at the bottom of the hill there, brought out his gun and he said he was going to shoot us if we trespass on his property. So like a smart aleck, I told him, well, this is my property, what the hell are you talking about? I said, we pick berries up there and there's a trail that goes through here from time immemorial. I said, we go through it every time until you bought the place. And he said, no, this gun says you're not going to go through here now. He had a gun in his hand and he was pointing. I told him, well, you're going to hang if you shoot me, and that's the bottom line. That's your law, not mine. So that's how it ended, and I just left him with his gun. That was when Ernie Heisman was still alive. He was showing me the trail going up right from Carnaby and go up to Garden there. There's berry pats, huckleberry pats on the bottom there. Thank you. When you get to, you'll have to, I think we'll have to move a little faster than the way things are going now. We're going to go self-government bit, because we're way lagging. Got to get it in gear somehow.
Yeah.
Right. I just remembered what I was going to say. I was going to further comment on Ray's comment about what's happening in with our neighbors to the north and to the west. My feeling is that the Xinjiang, especially the Gitxsan are they're more concerned right now with receiving funds from the LNG project than they are with protecting the water and the fish. Right now, it's a huge, it's $1 billion project, and they're getting a lot of money from it. But it's my thinking that they're more concerned with the money that they're going to receive from the LNG than preserving the fish in the river and protecting the river itself. So I think that's probably why that none of them are coming to the table with us to try and preserve our fish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're trying to do is gain access to the fishing sites for our people. And one of the things that our people are going against is that there are fences put up, and you can't trespass on their fee simple land. So, I think if there's going to be any more, if we move forward, there has to be an understanding from fee simple people that there has to be access. You can't be holding a gun on somebody, for him being on his property, and the First Nation being on his property, because we're both right, but we don't follow the white man law. So, this applies to access to the rivers too, or on the rivers. Today, as Anita said, there's hardly any boats on the Skeena that I've seen. Of course, down the terrace where, it's business as usual. But around our area, the fish are being conserved, and that is what we're striving for, to conserve our fish, so that it'll be here for future generations. When you talk about sustainability to me is that the land, the way it is today, will be there for all our future generations and their future generations in its pristine form. That means not to be poisoned by anything, by pollution from railroads, by pollution from pipelines. Like, those people down there are really making any money, I guess, so, so that's what we're doing, is protecting the river and, protecting the river for all the future generations. And I think we're succeeding. And, so it's looking good for 2020. For now, we've got it closed. And it seems like the governments are, I mean, they don't say they support our closing of the river, but you know, they are supportive in what we're doing. Conservation. Somebody reached it. Oh, sorry.
I wanted to address the crisis management team with a question.
Yep.
Have you looked into maybe a biologist doing DNA samples of fish from downriver and compare them with the fish that come upriver past the sports fishing grounds to see what percentage of that fish is actually from upriver and what tributaries maybe they're from? Is there a way that, have you looked into anything like that?
I'm not privy to that information, but I'm pretty sure the Gitxsan Watershed Authority has those, they have those things at their disposal, you know, the biologists and all that. Yeah, but you know, those people, you know, down the Gitxsan people, I guess they're getting money to do this little research. Maybe we could look into that, Gordon. You know, the little research, you know, with the dye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Al Goddesfeld worked with GWWA. They've gone out in the ocean and done all that, taking samples, comparing them with the ones up here. That's through GWWA. Al Goddesfeld, that's Charlie and them's biologist.
So I guess we're just gonna have to work a little bit with the Charlie and them, get information from them.
I was gonna ask you, like our board wants to meet. You guys should explain what GWA is doing.
Oh, crisis management team or the whole thing?
Even the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Just so that they know where we're coming from.
Oh, you mean GWA?
Yeah, I sit on that board and we've been wanting to meet with Gordon and.
Yeah, I think we should, you know, because a lot of questions.
You heard Rennie saying that Charlie closes the gate. Charlie has no power to close the gate up that far. All we look after is the Gitxsan part of the river. And that needs to be brought out, that Charlie doesn't have power to, or the GWA board have power to close the gate at the Babine Lake.
Yeah,
They do that themselves.
yeah.
They have their own boards and stuff up there that look after the lake. We don't look after it.
You know, that's one of the things that I would like to do is meet with GWA because there's sort of like, what do you call it? We're missing each other's, right?
Yeah,
Or
you guys get them off the agenda.
No,
What's next week?
Okay, that's it.
I
You
said,
guys can, you'll have to record, quickest meeting.
Okay, so anyways, what's gonna happen? You're gonna set that up?
no, you have.
Okay,
Go and visit open.
so we set a meeting with GWA,
In 4 days.
the whole group.
The CFD.
Yeah, this whole group.
This group or?
Yeah, this whole group.
Or
This whole group.
crisis management, about 12 days.
No, no.
Is what you're saying, crisis management.
Yeah.
Did you want to meet with the whole group or crisis management
It
team?
could be the whole group.
I think it's
Just
sort of
just so
also-
they know where.
Yeah, they're the ones that want to ask questions. Yeah.
Is it gonna be with both the,
Versus and.
At our next meeting, the date we pick,
3 and 1.
we'll just have GWA come in, do their thing, and then they can leave and we can continue,
Yeah,
okay?
okay.
What about August 13th
So
for the next date?
the next date is proposed for August 13th.
July, August.
And we're going to have a meeting with GWA involved with us, the whole meeting.
The whole meeting?
The whole,
No,
well,
part of it.
they're going to do their presentation,
They do
then,
their presentation first, and we go on to our side.
yeah.
what is it you want from GWA?
They wanted to ask the biologists that they work with.
It's just so we're on the same page.
Yeah, it's on the same page because we're sort of like out of sync.
Yeah. Because they think we run the Babine too, we don't run the Babine.
It's a Tuesday.
Should be Monday.
Should be Monday.
April 13th.
Sunday. Sunday, the 11th is the, it's the Falling Stars on the 11th. We usually go out on the beach, watch.
It's Tuesday.
Or-
August 12th.
No, just,
The next meeting is going to be August
just think positive.
13th. That's with GWA as well.
What's wrong with the 12th?
4 o'clock?
GWA?
4? 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, or,
Not AM.
no. What date? 13th, August.
Coffee and donuts.
Coffee.
Nobody.
We'll check with Charlie, see who's available.
They'll be available.
Okay.
Gyeets.
And I guess that would apply with the other one too, eh? The other, the Gaelic.
They might want to meet with us.
They'll make their own date.
They'll pick
Yeah.
their own date.
Okay.
Would you argue for your date?
That was raining.
Jesus Christ. You ready to get the date for next meeting?
Oh, does he know? Okay.
Gordon's hungry.
Okay, I'm gonna just let you know that I know the procedure for chairing. I didn't follow it today. And it's sort of like a relaxed form of chairing. So, with that in mind, Calvin, Kip. Dat is dan.
geweest op dit niet. Zou het een dag naar hier. Ja, dit is wel eerst. En ik dat gaat Joos gezend, ga ik eerst goed niet niet. Daar is hem niet en nee en knam, ga niet goed op. Ga goed is. Ga je hem aan, doe hem aan. Le bleek goed was, ik goed goed is niet. Ja, want ze mag zijn, want dan gaat ik eerst goed hem is niet. Nee, de moet best bezig aan het lagen. Maar ik wil het stuk nou, niet de stessen de niet. Je wordt graag wat je moet beschrijven. Ik nam het geen maat. de meloyel joch Gitxsan meligol sidnit. I wala yesarat xara Gitxsan. Dem lot xaxio kanau jun nin jen denot. Und han matum Christ dem nöl. Amen.
Amen.